other end of the street, all right?
Right, Sarge.
Up the side of the viaduct, and then to the backs at this side.
Right.
Right. You go and dig out one of them gasboard men. Find out what the exact situation is.
Can I speak to Dave Robbins, please? Yeah. Oh, Mr. Robbins. This is Billy Walker here, Rover's Return, Coronation Street. Look, we have met once, but you probably won't remember. No, I'm wondering if you could tell me what I could get in touch with Ken Barlow. Oh, you can't? Oh, well, it was just a long shot, you know. Look, you don't happen to know if he's got any mates over Saddleworth way, do you? Or Birch, for that matter? No, well, we can't really ask him, because it's him we're on about, really. Yeah, well, there's been a bit of an accident. Yeah, a gas leak last night. No, it's nothing to do with this gas workers' dispute. It's just that, well... Oh, well, he's recently had a gas cooker taken out. Well, they're investigating it, you know. Yeah, well, I'm afraid he is. Yeah, Weatherfield General. Well, it's pretty bad, yeah. Look, if you do happen to run into him, will you... Yeah, OK. Right, thanks, bye.
No luck, then?
Haven't seen him for months.
Hey, there Beatty.
You are?
Well, there Beatty. She's more next to kin than what Ken Barlow is, isn't she? And that's standard practice when this sort of thing crops up, isn't it? Inform next to kin.
That's right.
Who the hell knows where we're going to get in touch with their Beatty?
Mrs. Bishop?
That's right.
I believe you have the keys to the community centre over there.
I do, yes.
I wonder if you'd mind opening up for us, please. And then getting over there yourself as quickly as possible.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing to get alarmed around, Mrs. Bishop. Just a routine precaution, really. Still, better to be safe than sorry, eh? Has anybody contacted the fire brigade yet?
Get on the way now, Sarge.
Right.
Is it ringing out for you?
Yeah, it's ringing out, but nobody's bothering to answer.
Well, get the exchange to put you through.
Well, I won't waste my time. I mean, they could be out for the day or Sunday afternoon.
Well, the elders suggest we get in touch with them. Smoke signals.
Well, I tell you what, why don't you ring the police, ask them to put an SOS out on the radio?
Oh, that's a bit strong, isn't it?
I don't see why not. It's a matter of life and death, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got to find some way of getting in touch with one of them.
Well, anybody know the number of the police station?
Yeah, I do. It's tattooed right across the inside of my head. Ooh, the time that I rung this state at about 2 in the morning to see when my Cyril were coming home. Or whether they were coming home at all. 2.
Just this minute?
I'm afraid so, missus.
I'm just in the middle of washing my hair.
I'm sorry, madam. Well, this is an emergency. The old road could go up any minute. Now, please, move out.
I can't walk down the street like this.
You just make your way across to the community centre. You'll be taken care of there.
Rather daft, stupid thing at this time.
Lack of organisation, Ernest.
Beg your pardon?
The mother of panic and the father of chaos. That's what the real enemy always is at times of emergency such as this.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite...
When people start arriving through that door, Ernest, they're going to be like displaced persons.
I realise
what
that,
we
but
wanted then, Ernest, to be a leader, some central authority, someone who can take the situation by the scruff of its neck.
Are you suggesting, Emily, that I take charge?
Well, you are the senior male representative of the community centre committee.
No, you're the secretary.
Oh, well, I'm afraid the bright light of women's liberation hasn't penetrated this far into darkest Weatherfield yet. They won't listen to a woman, Ernest. It has to be a man.
Is this where we have to come?
It does look like it, yes.
Well, now we're here, what are we supposed to do next?
Well, Ernest?
Right, well, let's get organised then. Tea for a start.
Tea?
Yes, well, I'll get organised in here. People at this sort of time want tea, gallons of it. So while I'm organising in here, why don't you two go and see what's going for us in the kitchen?
Yeah, right.
As I've always said, Ernest, comes the hour, comes the man.
Right. Right, you go on over there.
Yeah.
I'll lock up out the back and then I'll lock up here on my way.
That's all right, Chuck.
I'll just get me tranny.
Come on then, Bob. This is a ring of roses we're playing,
shut
you know.
up, I've not got skates on.
Councillor Fairclough.
Just get over to the community centre with the others,
Just
will you,
a
Councillor?
quick word, mate. What about the gassing?
Well, what about it?
Have you any idea where it's coming from?
I'm a policeman, Councillor, not a gasman.
You must have some idea.
All I can tell you at the moment is odds on it's the mains. Now, will you please clear out? Because, you see, the longer you lot stay in here, the longer I've got to stop in here. And I'm not really ready to pick up my harp and wings just yet, thanks very much. Come on then, miss, let's be having you.
I'm coming.
If there is anyone else in
Coronation Street, please clear the area immediately. Your lives may be in danger. I repeat, your lives may be in danger.
Can I have your attention, please?
Sorry, can I just have a quick word? Just a quick word, please. I just want to welcome you here to the community centre on behalf of the committee. And to tell you there'll be plenty more tea up in a minute. All right, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Don't tell me. Let me guess.
Yeah, I know. We're having a May Queen and I'm going as Ali Baba.
Oh, a little touch of cocoa here and there can be very effective, you know.
Yeah, yes, kid. I'll remember when it comes time for judging.
Tea up!
Just take a listen, Mrs. Caldwell. There you are then, Mrs. Caldwell.
Thanks very much. I did offer to go and look for him myself.
I beg your pardon, love?
Bobby, I can't find him.
Oh.
Well, you see, I knew where to look, you see, only they wouldn't let me. They were very nice about it, but still they wouldn't let me.
There's no sign of our little red Jerry's then, the one with the short, fat, hairy legs.
Well, you know, Jerry, when he gets on that bike of his, he's probably halfway over the Pennines by now. 12.5 stone of rippling leg muscle.
I think it's just as well, you know, until we know one way or the other.
How do you mean one way or the other?
Well, that gas leak occurred by somehow, didn't it?
Oh, come on, Len.
Do I have to spell it out to
Sorry.
you? You know as well as I do who the last bloke was to touch those gas fittings in Daddy Taplocks.
Yes.
Hello, my darling.
Yeah, thank you, love.
Well, Betty.
No change, love. He's still very poorly.
Oh, dear.
Well, it's a work of art in itself, isn't it, really, when you come to think about it?
What is?
Working out the exact significance of these replies you get when you phone up the hospital. I mean, when they say comfortable, I mean, do they just mean comfortable or as comfortable as can be expected? And when they say they're satisfactory, I mean, whose satisfaction are they talking about?
Well, they've got to say something, I suppose, Billy.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's just never really enough, though, is it, eh?
Yes, that's right. The community centre. Well, we don't know, do we? That's what we're waiting to find out. Oh, no, love. Look, if you're that busy, it's not worth coming round, is it? I mean, all we've got round here is a cup of tea and a dog biscuit. No, I'll do you some steak and chips when you get home. No, I'm all right. Yes, I will. Yes, as soon as I hear anything, I'll let you know. Right. Ta-ra, love.
Is he over at the garage?
Hey, he's got bits of Maserati all over the floor. No, he's got a rush job on for tomorrow.
I see.
I'll tell you what he has got, though.
What's that then?
A flask of hot coffee and about 8 turkey butties.
Didn't he offer to bring it over here?
As a matter of fact, he offered to take me out for something to eat. But I had to tell him, hadn't I? I'm hardly dressed for the Midland. Let's face it, I'm not even dressed for Jackson's Chippy.
Hey, it's a sobering thought, though, isn't it?
What is?
Well, if this street went up, think what would happen. All my worldly possessions are what I stand up in.
Oh, give over. Don't want to even think about it, thanks very much.
Well, I can't understand how it happened at all.
There's no mystery about that, Betty, surely. I mean, it's happening all the time, isn't it, where you get old folk? Somebody turns a tap on, forgets to light it. 3 days later, somebody realises they haven't seen him recently. Bingo.
Oh, no, I could understand how that happened, but, I mean, it didn't happen like that in this case, did it, lovey? I mean, it was a gas leak.
So?
Well, I didn't know that Albert still had gas. I mean, he was only chuntering to me last week about having to use, you know, an electric stove that Ken had bought.
But there must still be the old gas fires in there, though.
Yeah, there are. And then he'll still have the old pipes and all, won't he?
What old pipes?
Well, the ones he ran his gas stove on. It was you who took it out for him, wasn't it, Ray?
What?
Albert's gas stove. Well, Jerry, anyway.
So?
So nothing. So you were the one to tell us about it, that's all.
Is it that important, do you think?
I suppose it might be. What's the matter with you?
There's nothing the matter with me, love.
I think what my young friend's trying to say is we shouldn't speculate where that gas leak's coming from. I think we better wait until we hear it from the gas board, don't you?
Speculating. All I was trying to say.
Yeah, I think we all know what you were trying to say.
Hey, has my Stan been in here looking for me?
Why don't you try the flying horse? I heard he was going down for the darts handicap this morning.
I've been to the Flying Horse. He left there an hour since.
I shouldn't worry, Mrs. Ogden. He's probably on his way home at this moment, and when the police intercept him, they'll send him round here.
Yeah, if they do intercept him.
He'll not get through that cordon, Hilda.
Oh, that's what they keep saying about them hijackers, isn't it? But they still get all them airliners going missing. Oh, it'd be just like him, the big daft apeth, to go waltzing through unnoticed and be in there snoring his gob off when the band goes off.
This is a police message. Mr. Kenneth Farrington,
Here it is.
Coronation
Turn it up a bit.
Believed to be staying in the Saddleworth area this weekend, please go to Ward 8, Weatherfield General Hospital immediately, where Mr. Albert Tatlock is lying dangerously ill. Will Mr. Kenneth Barlow of Coronation Street, Weatherfield, believed to be staying in the Saddleworth area this weekend, please go to Ward 8, Weatherfield General Hospital immediately, where Mr. Albert Tatlock is lying dangerously ill. That is the end of the police message.
I wonder if you heard it.
Get a nasty flaming shock if he does.
Oh, come along now, Mrs. Caldwell. I'm sure they're doing everything they can for him.
Take more than a whiff of gas to knock old Albert out, I reckon.
And if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't be here at all now.
I'll tell you what I suggest, that we recommend Mrs. Caldwell for a medal when it's all over.
Yes.
I'd have sent it back if you did.
How's that then, love?
Well, I only went over there showing off. I wanted to swank over him because he'd missed such a good do.
You've not heard then, Mr. Barlow?
Heard? Heard what?
More tea, anybody?
Oh, no, thanks. If you drink any more tea, your toes will start leaking.
You don't happen to have a couple of dozen meat pies stashed out the back there, do you?
I'm afraid not, no.
Hey, sorry, love. Hey, you don't fancy creeping past that bobby outside over to your boozer and creeping back, dragging a crate of bottled bitter with you?
That's right.
That's what's wrong with youth today, you know. There's no sense of adventure.
I lost my sense of adventure when I was a Boy Scout. And I tried it on with this big girl guide, and she left me tied up in a reef knot behind the stage.
Hey, if we was all stranded on a raft, completely without provisions, I wonder which one of us would eat first.
I've been eating many a time, usually on the back row of the pictures.
Hey, kid.
Yeah?
Are you boasting or complaining?
Bit of both, I think, Elsie.
Well, all I can say is I'm glad you all find it so funny. But then some of us have got more to lose than others, haven't we?
Meaning me, I suppose, Hilda.
Oh, Hilda, give over scriking. You don't know how else since you came in. We've all got a lot to lose, but it's no good scriking about it.
No, but it'd just be rotten typical with that, wouldn't it, if it did go up? First time we've got on us feet. Got a nice home together at last. None of it insured, of course. Oh, no, Clever Dick wasn't going to throw good money away on insurance.
Hilda, will you stop whining? You've done nothing else, I tell you, since you came in. You sound like an old wind machine.
I think we're all prone to get on one another's nerves a bit, stranded, as it were, in such close proximity like
You can
this.
say that again.
What we really ought to be doing is trying to find something to occupy ourselves, to take our minds off it.
Oh, you mean like I Spy with My Little Lie, that kind of
Well, I was thinking of something along rather more sophisticated lines, actually.
Hey, spin the bottle's always good for a laugh.
Yeah. Truth or Dare, that's the best one. I've seen some sights of Truth or Dare.
Aye. Charades always used to go down well, I always thought.
Well, why stop there? Let's go the old hog. What about musical bumps and pasta parcel?
Well, there must be something we can do. I mean, what sort of things did people get up to in air raid shelters during the war, for
Hey, will you tell her, Annie, or will I? I've got a feeling that you and Emily are talking about two entirely different things. I was thinking on the same road myself.
Gets his gun.
Sorry?
He's back. Ken Barlow, I've just seen him. Not the nicest job I've ever had.
How do you mean?
Well, he hadn't heard.
Where is he?
I've just seen him into a police car. They're running him up to the hospital now.
I'm blaming himself every yard of the way, I reckon, because he wasn't here to prevent it.
Oh, well, why should he do that? It wasn't his fault.
I didn't say it was, love, but it still won't stop him doing it.
Mr. Tatlock is a very, very sick man. He's also an old man, and there's always the possibility of further complications.
What complications?
Hypostatic pneumonia, that sort of thing. On the other hand...
What?
Well, the human animal's a curiously perverse creature, Mr. Barlow. I've seen strong men crumble without so much as a fight. Others, often the last you'd expect of it, battle their way back through death's door itself.
Well, I'll say this much for him. He was always a battler, Uncle Albert.
You can see him for a moment, if you want to.
Yes, I'd like to do that. Has he been like this since he was admitted?
Yes.
Is it all right if I...
Of course. Only don't stay too long. We do have a job of work to do. You'll have Sister after you.
I'll raise it 10p.
She's bluffing.
You reckon?
Yeah, I left eyebrows twitching. Always does that when she's bluffing.
All right. Call.
Well, is 3 queens and 2 aces any good?
It's too good for him.
Didn't I see you and the man with the golden what's it?
Hello, British Legion. Oh, I'm inquiring about Mr. Stanley Ogden, window cleaner. Well, of course I know what day it is. No, listen, if he is there, he'll be standing up, propping up the bar supping, not working. Right.
Penny for them.
Oh, they're worth more than that.
Come on, then.
I was just thinking, last time we were all together was when the gasworks had a burst over there.
It was the mission then, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I had time to get dressed then.
You were having trouble getting undressed, if I remember rightly.
You what?
You remember your Linda holding that blanket up for you to get undressed to kip down for the night?
I've forgotten all about that.
It's a long time ago, isn't it? What is it now, 8? 9 years?
Nearly 12.
Get away.
It is. 1962, but 1961 our Paul was born, and he's 12 this year.
You could have fooled me.
Hi. Will you ever forget Leonard Swindley's face when I arrived and came staggering through the door with that television set under his arm?
I wonder where old Swindley is nowadays.
Oh, probably with some other Emily Nugent, telling her to put her shoulder to the wheel and heave herself over the hump.
And old Lena, threatening what she'd do to Concepta if she didn't switch that radio off. And you threatening what she'd do if she didn't.
And Jack Walker, bringing his bowling woods along, just in case.
Yeah. There's a lot of sand gone through the egg timer since then, my darling.
Aye, I say that again.
Have we lost something since then, do you think?
Lost something. Found something.
Some of us. Poor old Albert, eh? He was in here that night.
Aye. So he was. And Ken.
Yeah, about 7 o'clock, me and the missus, we used to make a flask of tea and cut a few sandwiches, and then we'd go off to shelter. When we got there, like as not, there'd be a bit of a sing-song going on. So we get ourselves settled down, and then we'd join in. And then you'd hear it. You know, I never have heard a banshee, but whenever that siren went, I said to myself, there's that banshee wailing again. And I reckon it was worst sound at lot. You know, many a time we've sung our heads off when bombs were dropping, but when that siren went, it quietened you down. By gosh, it did. And you'd lie there, it happened for an hour, maybe only for 5 minutes, just listening. And then somebody'd start a song going and it'd be all right again.
All right? You make it sound as if there was some good in it.
Well, so there was, lad, so there was. You know, I reckon I had more kindnesses done to me during that blitz than ever I've had before or since. And I did more myself, too.
Does make you wonder, though, doesn't it?
What?
Well, about them Barlows.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's like kismet with them, isn't it?
Kismet?
Yeah, you know, fate, like. Hanging over their heads like the sword of Damascus. Still, you get that with certain families, don't you? It's as though there was something out there, hunting them down one after the other.
I saw a picture about that sort of thing once.
You're not going to tell me you believe all that rubbish.
Ah, no, I'm not voicing an opinion one road or the other. Because after all, you never know who or what might be listening, do you? Still, you can't argue with the facts, you know. First there was his mum under a bus, then his brother down under, then his own wife. Oh, it's all very well being modern and cosmopolitan about these things, but I reckon that's pushing coincidence a bit too far myself.
Hilda, will you do us all a favour and shut up?
You are?
You're enjoying every minute of this, aren't you? Every flaming minute.
What the heck's up with the Sheik of Araby all of a sudden, then?
Well, Hilda, you don't know. I'm certain I'm not going to tell you.
Well, what have I said? I've only put into words what you lot have all been thinking.
That's it, isn't it?
What?
There are certain things, you know, better left unsaid.
Any volunteers for washing up?
No.
Oh, hello. All clear then, is it?
Not yet, I'm afraid, love. There was an old lady around earlier on inquiring about her cat.
That's right.
I just thought I'd let you know. We did have a quick look round the house. No sign of a cat in there.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
No news is good news, Mrs. Caldwell.
Yes, I suppose it is. I expect you think I'm soft in the head worrying myself about Bobby the way I do.
Now, why should I think that?
Oh, well, the others do. Oh, I've caught them having a good laugh behind my back as if I was simple as summit.
Take no notice.
Oh, I don't. Well, you see, me and our Mr. Well, we never had any children, and then when he passed on, well, since then I've always had a cat, you see, somebody to talk to.
I understand.
Only what I say is they shouldn't laugh because they never know. The same thing might happen to them.
Your uncle, is he?
In a way, yes. Sort of come to regard him as such.
Oh?
My wife's uncle.
I see. Does your wife know?
She's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
That's all right. It was a couple of years ago. Another domestic tragedy. And now this.
He isn't dead yet, Mr. Barlow. He really does have a very good chance.
Well, let's hope so.
I wouldn't have thought you were the superstitious type, Mr. Barlow.
Oh, I'm not. That's a good thing, too, really, isn't it?
Right, that's it then. You can all go back home now. All clear.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Flood, please. 3 of a kind.
Flush.
Oh, Elsie got it again.
Thought you said you never played this game before.
I'm a very quick learner.
Obviously.
Anyway, I'd just like to say I'm very grateful for you lot for the way that you've put up with me.
Don't mention it. Just remind us never to play with you again, that's all.
Here.
Like my old boyfriend used to say, you've got to learn for your education at poker.
Your old boyfriend used to say that, did he?
Yeah, he was sort of a poker version of Hurricane Higgins, you know.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Community centre. Oh, hello, Stan. Yeah, she's here. Hold on.
Oh, Stan. Hello, Stan. Are you all right, Chuck? Which club? Here. You don't mean that one down Argyle Street where they got done last week for topless belly dancers? I see. So while I've been stuck in here, you've been getting an eyeful over there, have you? Well, I'll see you at home, Stanley Ogden, in 5 minutes.
Here we go. Right. Safe and sound, Hilda.
Oh, I'll give him safe and sound when I get hold of him.
Always the perfect husband, Stanley, you know.
Hey, that's enough out of you, Ray Langton. What I say about him's one thing, what you say about him's another. Any road. At least he's been able to spend his afternoon in congenital company. Which is more than I can say I've been able to do.
Here you are then, Mrs. Caldwell. Don't say I'll never give you nothing.
Oh, Bobby, where have you been, you naughty boy?
Well, between you and me, he's been with this girlfriend of his, and they had delighted smiles on their faces.
Oh, he always was a bit of a gay Lothario, was Bobby.
Hey up, mate, what's all the excitement about?
All over bar shouting now, pal. I reckon somebody's going to be doing a bit of that before this lot's over.
Oh, how's that then?
Gas leak. Old Codger's in hospital.
Not Mr. Tatlock?
That's the one.
Is he bad?
Nothing for him, I've heard.
Well, how do you mean, gas leak?
Domestic installation. He used to have this gas stove, you know.
Oh, aye?
Had it taken out. I just wish they'd leave these jobs to fellas as know what they're doing.